When I was 18, for example, I lost my period for 1 year. Then after 5-6 years of medical medium, my health got worse again. You cannot heal with food, that's not possible. You can also not heal with supplements.
For fasting, do you feel it's different for men and women? Hi, and welcome to this new episode of The Light Leaders. Today I'm with Laetitia, aka Rawjuicyfit on Instagram, and you're a coach, a holistic nutritionist with the focus on water fasting, juice fasting, and raw living foods. You call yourself a fruitologist because of your primary goal to help people uncover the deeper causes behind their symptoms. So you've helped hundreds of people. And today the conversation is going to be around raw food and fasting, also exploring, is it different for men and women? I think it's going to be exciting to have this conversation. I know you've healed also yourself a lot through these modalities. You're a fan of medical medium with also raw food. So we'll go into these topics. I'm excited to have a conversation with you, Laetitia. Today we met
Yeah.
we met in Bali recently, right? Yeah, thank you for being here. First question, what are you grateful for today?
Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I can be here on the Canary Islands right now. And not in winter in Germany. Yeah.
And you have good fruits there, I assume.
And what are you grateful for today?
Oh yeah, I'm grateful for the technology to be able to broadcast this conversation on the internet and anyone can listen anytime. I think that's super exciting. So I'd love to ask you a little bit of a backstory. What got you into becoming a nutritionist?
Well, I think, my own health problems, basically. So they started when I was 13. And at that time, I had like asthma and acne and a lot of allergies. So I had to like focus on my foods, and I was like gluten intolerant and all that stuff. And the acne was like the worst problem for me. And then I got into like a healthier lifestyle and a clean diet. And I started to eat paleo at that time. So I was paleo like for 3 years or something, or 4. Yeah, but I did it wrong, like I had a high fat diet basically. Like I ate so many nuts and seeds and so many oils, and I had not really like an idea. Like I was like, okay, clean food, and yeah, and I thought, okay, we need something to like feel satisfied, in my head, like only fruit, that's not possible, like. And also like my grandma, for example, she was like, you cannot eat only fruit, that's not a meal, like you need something more dense. And then I was like eating all these gluten-free breads, and I baked so much. And this was like really this was really my downfall, because I was like eating so much fat and I couldn't like really get rid of the toxins because of that. So my health got worse and worse and worse. So basically.
So what did you do then?
So then, my digestive system, oh my God, it was so messed up. I was always constipated, and my hormones were also like really messed up. So the doctors told me, okay, you need more oils, and then, me in the morning, 1 tablespoon of oil, like, oh my God, this is the worst you can do for detox, And they told me, oh, it's important, the fatty acids for your hormones to balance. And so basically, then it got worse and worse. I got more problems, like got a histamine intolerance. I don't know if you know that. It's like where you can't also like eat certain fruits. You cannot tolerate bananas or something, like oranges or something. So it was really like, it was getting tough, for me, like, oh my God. I have so many allergies. And then I got parasites on top of that. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed me antibiotics. So, and with the antibiotics, I messed up everything, like my whole gut. Oh my God, I just destroyed everything, And the problem was also like the parasites came back because they weren't like really killed, and then I had to take it again. And and this was like really like since then I was like bloated and had like more issues. And yeah, and then I found, and I also got like a lot of hair loss at that time, and yeah, just like eczema all over my arms. And then my mom gave me a medical medium book to my birthday. And I know I can remember, I was like, I know everything about health. I was like a bit arrogant at that time because I was like, I eat so clean, I'm so disciplined. What do you want to tell me? Like what, what else can I learn here? And I got humbled. Oh my God. Mm. And yeah, then I didn't read the book for like half a year or 1 year. It was like just like sitting in my bookshelf. And I also struggled a lot with dry skin at that time. So not at that time, like for 5, 6 years. So my body couldn't absorb the fat basically. So I had always like very dry skin in my face. And the book was called Medical Food from Medical Medium. Do you know that one?
I don't know.
It's like a book where like they're standing what foods you can eat for certain problems basically. And then I tried like, and I had nothing to lose. I looked at the book and okay, foods for dry skin. Okay, I will eat only these foods for the next 3 days. And like the next day I woke up and I had like a oil film in my face, like natural. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it because I had like dry skin for like 5, 6 years before. And then I got really into medical medium and learned everything about it, listened to every radio show and every podcast. And yeah, and then I did medical medium for over 5, 6 years. And then, yeah, a lot of things got better. Also, like I had OCD that also got better, like obsessive food thoughts. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but I had like some troubles with that. And because of the detox, it really like, I learned about, okay, fat-free is important, salt-free is important, how to really cleanse the liver and why the digestive system is not working, because of the liver. And there were like a lot of things I learned there, because I did so many mistakes like back in the days, I drank apple cider vinegar in the morning, I got all of these health trends,
It's
and
confusing.
yeah, it's so confusing. Did you also like had something in the past? I also like took flax seeds all the time to like, oh my God, it was horrible. Did you also do anything like that?
Yeah, I tried keto. I tried different things when I started on my health journey before I got more into plant-based through Dr. Greger, so that's more cooked. And then I got more into the raw with Doug Graham, especially Lauren Lockman and Dr. Morse. About that was more like 3 years ago. And actually discovered medical medium much quite later, which in my understanding, I'm no specialist, but I like celery juice. And also it's a lot of fruits. It's a lot of plant-based food, especially lots of raw also in my understanding, but also some cooked, like I know he likes the potatoes and a few other things, right?
And I like with medical medium that he has like a lot of recipes, but without nuts, without fats, like this is so important because basically we eat fat every day. Like every human is eating so much fat, like too much. And yeah, so and then after 5, 6 years of medical medium, my health got worse again. Like I had a lot of detox, of course, and I gained a lot of weight then. I was only eating fruit and vegetables, and I was like getting like, bigger, and like it was really like, horrible for me. And also like my lymphatic system was like really stagnant at that time. So my body couldn't like really get rid of the waste basically. And I also experienced hair loss again. And I didn't look healthy at all at that time, even though I was eating so healthy, and imagine like I was preaching, eat this, eat that, and eat healthy to my friends, and then I was the one who looked like not healthy at all, It was like so traumatic. But but luckily it was like that because otherwise I would be like this, I wouldn't like open my eyes that there's something more and that there are different ways to heal as well. And then I found John Rose, and then I got into juice fasting, and then I did like, oh my God, 100 days on juice. and like my longest episode was 90 days on juice, and it really like, wow, it really cleansed my lymphatic system out. This was amazing. Have you ever done a juice cleanse?
I haven't done more than like 10, maybe 12 days, which is impressive in the everyday world, but in our community is definitely not. I did 14 days on water. So I've done more on the water. I know medical medium isn't a huge fan, by the way, of those long water fasts, right?
No,
What do you
he's not.
make of it? So then you took a bit of distance from the medical medium school, let's say, and you got good results from it using fasting, especially.
Yes, yes, yes. Because it was, for me, it was like amazing. So, because like also when I was 18, for example, I lost my period for 1 year. And because of that, so I mean, like when you don't have your period, your body's saying, okay, you're not able to get a child because your body's too weak, you have too many toxins, your adrenals are too weak. Um, yeah, so I did then like 3 days on juice, but I also did it wrong. It was like 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, this was for me like, yeah, I got my period back after 3 days. And I didn't make all the juice fresh, and I was drinking not enough juice, but like still I had the experience that, oh my god, now I'm fat free for 3 days, and I do like a juice cleanse and my period got back after 1 year. So yeah, basically this was really like, for me, really big. And yeah, also like my hair loss stopped when I did the 90 days on juice, and my skin got so much clearer. I always like had some issues with my skin. And yeah, and I took all the supplements. I did everything like perfectly with the medical medium protocols, and it didn't work for me because when you have toxins in your body, you need to get rid of them, basically. So there's no way around. You cannot like supplement like anything there. You just need to like really
Mm.
flush it out and cleanse the lymphatic system. And yeah, then I also got into water fasting, and water fasting really changed my life. Like, oh my God. For me, it's amazing what the body can do. And for me, it's amazing how different my water fast experience were. In total, I did 10 water fasts, 10 longer ones, always between 7 and, yeah, my longest one was 17 days. And I did it like in my really like strong detox time. I did like 4 water fasts a year. And I really had very, very different experience. And I think the body prioritizes what needs to like, yeah, what needs to gone like from the toxin, what needs to be eliminated, basically. So yeah, and this was like incredible for me. Like the first water fast was okay, the second also, and the third, oh my god, I had like mucus coming out of me, out of my nose. I got so sick during the water fast, and I also always struggled with an inflamed wisdom tooth so it got removed when I was 17, but it didn't really heal. And at that time, when I did my third long water fast, I had the worst pain ever on that tooth here. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like the body heals through water fasting. You just need to rest, and you just need to give the body the time. Yeah, like it's incredible. Like, I think it's so funny because, yeah, some people do some water fasting and then they say, oh, it's not working for me. But you go deeper and deeper and deeper the often you do it. This is the thing. And yeah, like water fasting, like, wow, changed my life. I'm so happy that we have these tools, and it's so simple. It's nature. Like, yeah. How was your water fasting?
It was hard. What was the hunger was okay, but it was hard, especially because I was very bored. I was doing it Lauren Lockman style, like you really want to rest, and so I was trying even like not to be on my phone or social media. So it was many detox at the same time. So I wouldn't work out, I wouldn't eat, obviously. Uh, Only water, right? Not even tea or cocoa or lemon or whatever. Wouldn't work. I wouldn't do any of the things. Did a little bit of walking, a little bit, but yeah, it was. It's interesting because then you have a lot of time. You get a little. I got a little bit bored. I had a lot of time. I don't sleep as much. It's an interesting, very interesting experience, but challenging, especially for the mind that likes a bit more action and busyness. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And do you also have like, do you experience a clear mind? Like, because when I do like a fast now, oh my God, I have these crazy creative ideas and I like write so much down. I have like so many, like, I get so much input. Like, I think this is amazing. Um,
Yeah, for me, not so much this time. I had done shorter ones where I felt a bit more like this, so it depends. But this one, I was, I don't know, was I was also like really low on energy, and I think that's what my body needed. Yeah,
yeah.
I did a little documentary, by the way, for the viewer. I made it 2 hours because when I was doing my fast, when sometimes I was like, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to watch a YouTube video, I would watch like fasting videos. I was so happy that it would make the time go by. So now I have a 2 hour video. So if you're, whether you're fasting or not, but if you're fasting, that's going to help you go by 2 more hours more easily. So you can watch that on my channel.
Amazing. I will watch it too. I think it's also like so funny. I think your phone always knows when you do like a water fast. You know, like when I'm like, of course, I did not all my water fasts weren't like without my phone. Definitely not. I always like check my phones out once in a while, you know. And then in Instagram, you get all these food reels. Oh my God, this is like the worst. So good that you like.
Yeah. Yeah, for me the food was kind of okay. It was more the boredom. But back to that, I'd love to ask you, what do you make of the people who say that well, let's say in general that long fasts aren't so beneficial, but especially for women. I hear a lot of people tell me, and that's the same with raw food, and we can talk about it, but like, oh, for men, it's quite good, but for women, no, because things that can be around the cycles or that it's quite different for women.
So for the cycle, it's really good. For example, like when you do one water day, for example, when your period is starting, because it helps the body to get rid of like some stuff. But in general, it's more about, I think, about the adrenal part. Our adrenals need to produce adrenaline. Um, yeah, this stops after 24 hours of like not eating. So basically, the body is going into fasting mode. So that's why it's different. It's not like so heavy on the adrenals, especially if you like really rest and don't do stuff and like just yeah. So it's okay, but when we overdo it, like for example, when we do like 30 days on water or something, like that's a really, really long time. This is like just too heavy, you know, like, and when people overdo it, they will lose their hair. And yeah, when you have like, yeah, this is like the biggest problem. And I also experienced like some hair loss during my first or second fast, but it's funny because I think the adrenals get stronger because of fasting. It's like it doesn't like it's counterintuitive, but I think it's because the body is like the organs are like cleansing, healing, and of course if you do it like in a short period of time. So I think it's definitely better for women to make like, I don't know, 10 days, 7 days, and that regularly. Or for beginners, definitely do one water day a week. I think this is how I would start. Yeah, just like do one once a week, and because I think like water fasting is definitely for people who are already cleansed a lot. So because then the body can really go deep, and otherwise it's more like, yeah, not so much, you know. And the people who are like who haven't figured out the diet yet, they will eat worse after a long water fast because they starve themselves basically. So that's why I would really recommend, yeah, when you do like raw foods and when you like into healthy eating, into like low fat and low salt, and when you, and this maybe for years, you know, like for 2 3 years, and then you can really go deep with the water fast, and then you can really heal a lot with this. Yeah. So
Yeah, thank you. And for fasting, do you feel it's different for men and women?
mm, I think, of course, like because of our immune system drops once a month for 2 times. So so when we are on our period, we only got like 20% of our immune system left. So that's yeah, that's why people like, or like women get colds before a period or something. But you know, like I was sick always. Like I had always colds in my youth, you know, and my menstruation was very heavy, and my body tried to like detox all the time, you know. And since I like cleansed my body so much, I really feel that now, oh my God, my period is like so imbalanced. It's so regularly, and it's like 4 or 5 days, not much bleeding, you know, like it's perfectly. And yeah, so we really need to like cleanse and strengthen our immune system, like, and yeah, of course, like women tend to get more sick than men, and also like have more symptoms, yeah, than men. So yeah, it's a bit different, definitely. But yeah, some women also like feel like intuitively that when they like get their period, they are not hungry, for example, or the digestive tract is a bit like messed up at the first or second day. So that's the sign for you to fast, you know, like that's the that's the answer, you know, like your body's telling you, okay, maybe you should not eat that. I can like eliminate some stuff,
Mm.
and it will
Oh,
get better.
well, sometimes they also feel like they want chocolates.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I also wanted to say so I had also like, because when I was like sick with my yeah, with all my symptoms, I also had like very low libido, like non-libido basically. And I also got my libido back because of the fasting. Definitely, like 100%. Like the more I cleansed, and the better like I'm connected to myself now, and like it's crazy. Like my hormones really changed through the fasting. But really, I don't want to like yeah, so first you need to like really maybe start with a juice cleanse, you know, like do it like step by step. Don't overdo it, because the body cannot like get rid of the toxins like in once, you know, like it's not possible. Like it takes time. It takes time to heal, and it takes time to cleanse. And I still do like one water day a week and one juice day a week. Like that's every week. So
It's interesting because you're doing almost like what you share is almost the opposite of what I hear a lot of women do. When I did like half jokingly the chocolates, it's like I like some women say when they're on their period, that's when they need more nourishing food or more dense food, or even some say for the hormones that's when you need to have eggs and meat, for example, especially when you're um, around your period. So it's interesting that a lot of things you do like eating lighter at these moments. To me, just from a more external point of view as a man, I hear sometimes the opposite. And also when you said with the juice fasting, you got your periods back, that's something I hear a lot from people who maybe do raw food, women who do raw food, and then that's when they reintroduce maybe meat or eggs or things that are also more dense. So why do you feel some women tell me almost the opposite of what you're telling me?
yeah, I know. Like also like a lot of women have like food cravings, and they want to eat a lot of chocolate before, and they got mood swings. And of course, like it takes like more calories to like get the period, definitely. Like there's like more calorie intake basically. But if you like really have a clean body, then like you can listen to your body. These like when you really like eat natural food, then you really notice, okay, what does my body need right now? Like really on a deeper level. And definitely no food, like especially not on the first day, because for me, like the first day is like the day where the bleeding is like the most. And when I then fast, then you know, I lay in my bed, I relax the whole day. This is what my body wants at that time. And yeah, so yeah, it's basically the food cravings are because they want to eat like something that is fatty, you know, something with a lot of calories basically. And this is also like basically the excuse. Okay, today I can cheat because I'm on my period, you know. And this is like the worst you can do. You know, like it's not normal to have period cramps. It's not normal to have like a painful period. Definitely not. You can heal that. And yeah, but people are not like willing to do that stuff, you know, like people are not ready yet. I don't know. But maybe also a lot of women don't know this, you know? I have no idea. Like for me it's like, okay, I want to be like as healthy as possible. I want like that my body is functioning normal, and it's not normal to have symptoms. It's not normal to be bloated. It's not normal to have any issues like that.
Yeah, thank you, Laetitia. I'm curious, how do you eat now on a daily basis?
Yeah. So I'm very low in fat, so I also still avoid all these nuts and seeds most as I can. I eat a lot of like raw food. Basically, I would say I'm 98% raw. Sometimes I would eat potatoes. Yeah, when I really want some potatoes, but yeah, for me, like it's the raw food. But I really try to. So for me, it's the I have the most energy when my digestive system is not digesting something, basically. So when I eat like when I drink more juices, when I drink more smoothies, everything that is like pre-digested, basically, this gives me the most of the energy, and that's why I would not like I don't like salads in the evening, for example, because I know then I have energy at 1 a.m. So I try to like more like a raw soup or something. Like the more I do smoothies and soups and juices, the better I feel and the more energy I have, basically. And also like or when I eat like a big salad, I would always take enzymes. So definitely because the enzymes break down the food quicker, and yeah, that's what keeps us like young. So basically, like when our digestive system is not like working much, there's more time for detoxification. Yeah. How do you eat?
Okay.
How's a normal day of eating look like for you?
Yeah. And just on you, and I'm assuming fully vegan or plant-based?
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's another topic that when I say what I eat, which I'll answer from what you share, which is, yeah, I'm fully plant-based. I eat maybe 90% raw, maybe 80% fruit. And then I'll have like, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll go to a restaurant and have like quinoa or tempeh or potatoes or this kind of cooked vegan
Yeah, Bali
things.
is paradise for this. Oh my God. I wish,
Yeah, a lot of,
like, oh my God.
but yeah, I know quite a lot of women here in Bali. A lot of women wanted to be vegan or have tried, and um, there are people women that say, oh, especially for women, it's important to have some meat, some eggs, especially if you want to be more fertile, especially when they want to give birth, the thing. So, I mean, I know you're not a mom yourself, but in general, like you've worked with a lot of people. So, why do you think there is a little bit that trend that for women, for their hormones, especially to be more fertile, that they need to have some animal products?
I would say because, like people get vegan for like a reason. Sometimes like they still struggle with something health-wise, or like try something out. Okay, I will try that. And like there are already symptoms, and then they feel okay, it's not really getting better, but maybe they're doing it like not in the right way, or maybe they don't have all the tools that would be like important, and then they blame the diet, basically. So I think it's more like, yeah, like there are like so many ways, like I also did not heal with food. You cannot heal with food, that's not possible. You can also not heal with supplements. So you can really heal by fasting. So it's like, it's like driving a car, and the car is like already a bit broken. And you keep driving. And this is the same what like a lot of people do with their symptoms or with their like digestive system. They're bloated, and then they wonder, oh, why am I bloated? And they're eating every day. Every day. You need to stop eating. You need to give your body holidays, basically. Your organs need rest as well. So yeah. So take your car to like the mechanics and get it like fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And then, but people might say easier said than done. I know as a man already, for example, just like water fasting even for a day. Today I did water until like 3 p.m. I was like, oh, am I going to keep going? And then I went home and I had my amazing fruits. I was like, even though part of me wanted to do it, I was like, I'll just have some nice food. And my partner had made a amazing pesto and all this. Anyway, so when you talk about like, oh, the first day of your period is great to fast, but knowing, well, I don't know, but from what I've heard, is very challenging emotionally also. So how do you manage to fast when you're on top of it in a emotionally challenging time?
So the thing is, we are only so emotional because we eat such a high fat diet. So that's really like, like the liver is like the organ that is also like connected to anger, especially. And you will experience that when you have like, when you like, for example, fat free for like 3 months, for example, and then you have a lot of fat again, you will have a big mood swing. Like it's crazy when the blood is thick again with fat, basically. And this is what really creates like mood swings and all that stuff, because our blood is not clean, basically. It's not like flowing. And yeah, so this is more the problem. And also with the emotions, it's more about, the thing is, that's why I love to work with my clients also like on the emotional parts, because also like overeating has nothing to do with food, nothing. It's just like a stress regulation, and or like also like a food addiction, for example. And yeah, so basically a lot of people don't even know the difference between feelings and emotions. So we don't learn it in school. Like, how should we know? And I think it's so important to really have a look at the needs. What are my needs? And like there are so many needs, and when needs are not met, for example, your need for comfort or for harmony or for love is not met, then there's like, then you want to stuff yourself with food or you want to numb yourself because you cannot like really cope with that. And I think it's really important too that we go to places that we find people that meet our needs. I think this is like the core. We cannot like go to like, when, for example, with some people, our needs can never be met. Why do we stay with these toxic people? Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Thank you, Laetitia. Also, when you said some people don't know the difference between feelings and emotions, and we don't learn that at school, I'd like to come back to that. Actually, one of the things I love with podcasting is that we can learn the things often that we were not taught at school. And that's one reason why I'm so passionate about podcasting, is because I've received so much education from podcasts. And then when I started over 6 years ago, this podcast, The Light Leaders, I also got so much more education like I'm receiving right now. So I have a message right now for the viewer. Also, if you are a conscious leader and you have a podcast potentially within you, and you'd like also to share your gifts, to have conversation with amazing people like Laetitia, like I'm doing right now, get into a call with me. I'm offering free sessions, and there's a link in the description, so you can check it out there. And I'd love to have a conversation with you and to help you. And because podcasting is to help to do this education we didn't have at school, I'd love to know what's the difference between feelings and emotions.
Yes, and I also want to know what's your favorite podcast. But yeah, so feelings are basically like, for example, you see a child. A child is experiencing like sadness, and like it's crying and then it's laughing again, and like a feeling is like a sudden feeling that is like coming through our body and then it goes away. An emotion is an old feeling that is not felt yet. It's like stuck. It's anywhere stuck in the body. That's what an emotion is. So, and yeah, feelings should be like light. They come and go, and they're like, yeah, we just feel it, and then yeah. And there are no bad or like good feelings. It's just like neutral. Oh, we are human. Of course, we feel different things. And yeah, this is when like trauma gets stuck in the body, when we are not able to, like, for example, when we were like younger, we are not able to feel certain things, and different moments, and then it gets stuck and stored in the body. And that's why I also work with a technique that's called process embodiment, like psychology, and I also do shaking medicine. It's a great technique from Australia where you really like get in touch with your body and help to like get the trauma out of your body, basically, because talking is not enough. So you can go to a therapist. It's not enough. You need to like the trauma started in the body and not resolved by like talking about it, you know? So that's why it's so important to really like, yeah, feel, and in the end, we have to feel everything that we didn't feel like when we were young. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Laetitia. And I think it's great that we touch on it because there's a conversation to be have with our minds and the intellect to think what is the best food and what's the best way to eat. And even if you arrive at a conclusion, for example, okay, it seems that I should eat raw vegan 80-10-10 diet and once a week be on water fasting is then a whole different ball game to actually put that into practice, and that's where the emotional works come in and is super important also with the work you're doing.
Yeah, it's super important, like to really like, yeah. For example, it's not a coincidence why people get different like symptoms. You know, like there's always a reason behind why someone is getting this and someone is getting, I don't know, something else. You know, someone is getting cancer and someone is getting like digestive issues. You know, for example, parasites. I had like a lot of parasites because I was a people pleaser. Like I would say it's like 50-50. Like of course like there's like a reason you get parasites, but there's a reason why they can survive in your body, you know. And I was a people pleaser. I didn't have like any boundaries, you know. I let people into my life. They didn't treat me well. I was like always try to like be liked by others. And these are the people who get parasites. So you know, like people who are like strong and like have a personality, you know, like they're on their way, they will never get parasites, even though they're eating parasites, you know, like it's not possible. So the symptoms are telling you something always. Like the body is communicating with you every single day. And we need to start to listen again. For example, of like my digestive issues, the reason also here was like the emotional reason. So my parents got divorced and I couldn't digest it, you know, like it was like a very horrible time for me at that time, you know, and I couldn't like cope with my emotions, and it was like hard for me, and everything like got stuck basically. Also like acne is also like low self-esteem, you know, like there's like so many things. Or do you think like when you broke like your knee, so the knee is about stability in your life, where you don't feel stable in your life, so what are you missing, you know? And then there's the right side and the left side, you know, like also like you can see, okay, is it the mom side, is it the dad side, you know, is it the emotional side, is it the body side, you know, like there's so much, and I'm so happy that I had all these symptoms, because otherwise I would not like learn all these things. But yeah, now I want to know, what's your favorite podcast? I saw that you also like actualized that. Oh my god, this one was, oh my god, I listened to him since I'm 14. I think he's the
Oh,
best. Oh my god, Leo is amazing.
yeah, I love actualize.org. I think he's doing a great job. My first thing that came when you asked favorite podcast, even though I don't listen to it so much anymore, is Tim Ferriss, because 7 years ago when I had my spiritual awakening, it was my spiritual awakening in university that got me into meditation and psychedelics and eating, even though he's not a raw vegan, but eating more on the healthy side. And yeah, so that's been a big part of my education. And as we're touching upon towards the end of this episode, I'd love to ask you, to ask you a little bit also about doing what you love as a purpose and how fulfilling that is and the life of freedom that you get. But before you talk on that, I'm wondering, have you wanted to have a podcast, CrossFit? That you could love that.
Yes, yes. I always like wanted to have a podcast, and I'm also like, I think I'm recording it soon, you know, like, but you know, for me it was always like, okay, should I do it in German or should I do it in English? And I think it wasn't the right time like 1 year ago, and maybe now it's the time. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, and I also wonder, because I think like in France, there are like two amazing raw pioneers. I think they are amazing. Maybe you have heard of them. Do you know the Instinctive Therapy by, let me say the name right, Guy Claude Burger or something?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's talk later about it. But wow. And also like Dominique Guillot or something. Wow, amazing. Instinctive therapy changed my life as well. But yeah, what I love, yeah, I love traveling. Now I choose my countries around the food, like the fruits, basically. You know, like on my travel list there's like the Philippines, Thailand, and yeah, also India. So let's see where I can like go there. And yeah, at the moment I try to like, yeah, find a beautiful place here on the Canary Islands to buy land. So yeah, this is my life at the moment.
Amazing. And then your full-time coaching, is that your main occupation now?
Yes, yes. I do phone calls. I do like, yeah, shaking medicine, and also like the all other somatic therapies. And yeah, I also do astrology. I'm very big into astrology as well. Yeah, and astrology consultations. This helped me also a lot, like just to see like the transits, you know, and the different houses. For example, okay, when there's a transit in the sixth house, of course you have health issues, and I can tell you, okay, it will last until then, you know, like you can like, astrology is amazing. Do you like astrology?
I do think it impacts us. I'm not always trusting the translation, and I'm a I like the empowering side of it, and I don't like the disempowering side of it, like making excuse and all this. So to me, they're like permission slips. They're like maps that we can use, but ultimately we should only use them in a way that's empowering.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. What is
So
your star?
basically, if you do an astrology reading, if you tell me something I like, I'll take it. And if you tell me something I don't like, I'll be like, yeah, discarding it and trust my own self and guidance more.
Yeah. You know, I also do astrography, like astrocartography. It's like astro travel, basically. They can see which countries are very good, like for you to like, yeah, have certain experience, or like where you have like luck in your job, for example. So it's really nice to like see how the places are impacting us.
Yeah, amazing. So combining all this, and now so you're doing full time with your career as a coach and nutritionist,
Yes, and
helping
water
people.
fasting, of course. Like I do like online water fasting and
Oh yeah,
online juice fasting. I think that's nice to like get the people really to know like in like such a long period of time.
amazing, amazing. And there'll be the link in the description so people can reach out to you for any of these. And congratulations. Also, I guess you get a lot of clients from your Instagram. You have quite a vibrant, active Instagram. So do you want to share a little bit about uh, building your brand on Instagram too?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I think for me like the most fun in my Instagram are like doing some reels, you know. I think this community, like also like the medical medium community or like the raw food, it's always like so, oh, you have to do this and everything is like so strict and there's no fun, you know, like, and I think it should be fun, you know. It should be nice to like eat like that and like to, yeah, just bring the joy in, you know, like it's so nice that we're here on this planet and that we can like eat raw living foods, you know, it's amazing. So yeah, so that's why I think I enjoy like, yeah, making my reels the most.
Nice. Amazing. Thank you, Laetitia at Rawjuicyfit. And is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewer before we wrap it up?
Yeah, cleanse your body and eat clean.
Amazing. Cleanse your body and eat clean. I agree. And I'd love the viewer, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this video, leave a comment with your main takeaway from the conversation or anything you want to share. I want it to be an interactive conversation, and I'll have a look at all the comments and reply to all of them. Thank you so much, Laetitia, for being here today. And thank you to the viewer for still being with us in this conversation.